Hi, good afternoon, everyone. The good afternoon is from the part of the world where I reside. Can anyone confirm in the chat that they can hear me okay? If you can hear me, can I get a thumbs up in the chat box, please? Babalola Toyib, can you hear me? Udemobongo Kun, can you hear me? Thank you. Thank you, Raphael. Thank you, Sheon. Thank you, Demobong. Thank you. So I'm going to be turning on my camera in a while now. Mr. David, good afternoon. Good to see you. Okay, so can you see me now? Can you see me as well? Awesome. 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 Thank you. Ultimate Galazi, thank you. Metro Michael. Okay, Metro said she can't see anyone. Can you just look again and see if you can see me? So if you can see me and you can hear me, can I get a double thumbs up? So like two thumbs up like this, one, two thumbs up at the same time if you can hear and see me. Chinedu, thank you. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Have you met me before, Chinedu? Have you met me before? Do you know me from anywhere? Awesome. I can see lots of double thumbs up. So I can assume that a lot of people can already see me and hear me. Thank you very much. So it's 4 minutes behind time that we are now, and I want to warmly welcome all of us to this session. I understand that we are here because the health tech is under the able management of Mr. David Effiong has decided to empower thousands of human beings from across the world by introducing them to the usefulness and power of Microsoft Excel free of charge, free of charge. Metro Michael, if you can't see me, please can you probably log out and log back in again? Sometimes it resolves a lot of the problems. If you can't see and hear me, please log out and log back in again. That might help. Thank you very much. So I understand we are here to learn Microsoft Excel for free. If I'm correct, can I get a yes in the chat box? If you know that's the reason, so I can be sure I'm with the right audience. So if you're here because of the Health Techies invitation to you to come and learn Microsoft Excel for free, can I get a yes, like a capital yes? Because it's not something cheap. In case you don't know, personally, apart from Dahel, I teach Microsoft Excel, but not in group like this. I teach to individuals and businesses, and no, it is not free. And I do not charge small money. I charge a lot of money to teach Microsoft Excel to businesses and individuals. So just so you understand exactly what it is that Mr. David is offering you here for free. Okay, thank you very much. I can confirm from King 001, Otuekong, Mary, Sunday, Margaret, Oteichukwudi that I am in the right audience. So once again, welcome. For those of you who've never met me before, and I'm sure a lot of you have not met me before, my name is Chimdemma Onwebu. It is spelled just the way it appears in your screen. I am a data analyst, and I used to be a student of the Health Techies. So whatever it is you're going to be seeing today, everything I'm going to be talking about today, when it has to do with um, Microsoft Excel and data analysis, the foundation of it started with the Dahel Techies. So if eventually after I don't know how long this is going to run, 4 months, 6 weeks, at the end of it, if you decide to become a full Dahel Techie student, then you might just be looking at what you might be like when you eventually graduate, God willing. So I'd mentioned earlier, I have been practicing data analysis for about 3 years now, and I have been using Microsoft Excel every single day for this past 3 years in my job. So I've been using it for both my private practice, I've been using it for in my professional job, I've been using it for so many different things. So I can say that I have a lot of proficiency when it comes to Microsoft Excel. I'm hoping that this class is not going to last longer than an hour and 30 minutes, including everything it says that we have to do, because I know it's Saturday, a lot of Owambe to go and do. And I want to take my children out. I've got some shopping to do, and I want to give you your lives back. So I'm going to start straight away. I'm not going to be sharing any screens today. Sorry, I was on annual leave for 2 weeks, and then I just got back last week. So I had a hell load of work to do at work, and I didn't have the time to put together any slides, but I assure you that you're not going to miss a thing. So what that also means is that you're going to be seeing my face all through the time. And from what I do as a coach, a lot of people say that seeing my face alone just helps them. So I don't know if it's going to help you today. So you're going to be seeing my face all through the time here, and I'm going to be speaking to you from my heart, because most times when I get to prepare slides, it seems to try to restrict the things I talk about. So I'm going to be talking straight from my heart today. And I hope that whatever it is that comes from my heart today to you is going to be useful to you going forward in your life. So after 9 minutes of dilly-dallying, I want to take the next 2 minutes to find out something about you. I want you to tell me something about you. And what I want you to tell me about you is that thing about you that you are most proud of. What is it about you that you are most proud of? Now, before you go into this, I want you to take a minute to reflect. Just trace your life back, the last 10 years, the last 5 years, the last 2 years. And please don't tell me I'm alive. I know that being alive alone is something to be proud of, and I appreciate that. But please, I want you to backtrack through your life, through your career as a student, as a worker, as a parent, as whatever it is you are, and just put in one thing that you are proud of yourself, that in your life up to this point that you are proud of. Amma says, I'm a graduate. Congratulations, Amma TV channel. Huge congratulations. That's no joke. I've been a graduate twice, so I know the feeling. I know the feeling. I know that I know what that feels like. And Ekong says he's a good team player. That's great, but that's not specific. I need something specific about you that you can say, this is what I am most proud of. Integrity is, yes, that's something, but on what occasion did that act of integrity show up? What is that one thing you have achieved? Maybe I didn't say this correctly. What is that one thing that you have achieved in your life at this point that you are most proud of? You see, I know this question may seem a little off, but it teaches you to reflect, and it teaches you to take ownership of yourself and the things that you've done. And that will propel you to do even further things. One thing I've done with myself in the past week, I'm seeing a lot of things here. Resilience throughout my career and personal life. That's awesome. I'm eager to learn new things. That's awesome. But it doesn't really answer my question. It's okay if you can't put it in here. Please take some time to answer this question to yourself. It has to be something. And I'll tell you mine. Mine is being able to successfully transit from being a biomedical scientist to being a data analyst. Now, for me, it's not just about the transition, it's about the life it's giving me. It's about the kind of life that transition has brought me, and where it has positioned me today. I think that's one of the most incredible things I've done with my life career-wise, taking that bold step to leave 11 years of my career as a biomedical scientist and starting something completely new. It's an incredible thing. It took a lot of courage. It took a lot of strength. It took a lot of grit. It took a lot of resolution from myself. And I am incredibly proud of myself that I was able to pull that out. Precious KJ, thank you very much for putting that in. I've been able to get myself to a point where I am not necessarily under pressure to do anything. This is powerful. This is powerful. Well done, Precious. Well done. Well done. That's awesome. I'm proud to be a graphics designer and about to learn Microsoft Excel. That's a powerful one. I worked as a supervisor in one place, Olayemi says, in Lagos. Most of the supervisors they then stole their money. I'm so glad during my tenure nothing went missing, and the manager of the place attested to that. That's a powerful testimony. That's a powerful thing. It's a show of your integrity. And whenever you go for interviews, Olayemi, please make sure to highlight this at any point when you go for interviews. Being able to start a career learning in tech. I'm a resilient person, not easily giving up on what I wanted. Okay, that's great. Thank you, everyone who had sent in things. But I want you again after this class. Now, this is not what I'm here to do, but I always try to bring in the coaching part of me each time I try to speak to people, because that's who I am. That's what I do. And like I said earlier, this will help you. If you're able to answer this question clearly, this will help you boost your morale. It will help you tell yourself that you're doing well, actually, and you can quantify what it is that you've done. And that acts as a springboard and a morale to you to, want to do bigger and greater things. All right, so let's go straight to what the business of the day is today. And I'm going to start by, introducing what I'm here to do today. I'm not here to teach you Excel, okay? Your Excel class is going to start maybe in the next session, but I'm here to introduce you to Microsoft Excel. I wouldn't know how many of us here has ever used Microsoft Excel before. So whether you've used it before or not, it doesn't matter at this point, because Dahel Techies has decided to treat everybody as if they do not know. And that's I think that's the best approach to this. So I'm going to be starting with introducing Microsoft Excel. What is it? So Microsoft Excel is a software. It's a software within the Microsoft Office 365 suite. It was produced in 1985 by Microsoft. It's a tool that is used for so many functions. Microsoft Excel is used for so many things. So it was produced in 1985. So Microsoft Excel is 39 years this year. So I don't know how many of you that are here that were born by 1985. If you were not born, you were not born by 1985, please give Microsoft Excel respect, because now your senior is older than you. So Microsoft Excel is actually 39 years this year. It was produced and put forward for use, from what I can gather, in 1985. And as we speak currently, as at now, over 1.2 billion people in the world use Microsoft Excel professionally. I am one of those 1.2 billion people. So over 1.2 billion. I don't know how many people there are in the world now. Do you know? How many people, how many people are there in the world? Has anybody got any idea? Do a quick Google search and post this. How many people in the world? How many people are we currently in the world? But from the statistics I have currently, Abubakar, yes, Salamat, Microsoft Excel is older than you. Please give me some respect. About 8 billion people. Saludin Aminat, thank you. So there are about 8 billion people in the world, from what Saludin Aminat has just shared with us. And so now remember that these 8 billion people, includes old people, includes children, includes babies, and all of that. Now, can somebody try getting me, how many people in the world are between the ages of 15 and 55? How many people in the world out of this 8 billion are between 15 and 15 and 55 years? These are like the major active years of people, where people can now begin to use things. So even if you're going with the estimate of 8 billion, about 1.5 billion people use Microsoft Excel. What does that tell you? What percentage is that? Somebody work it out for me. It's actually more than 10%. That's almost 20% of people in the world. Now, if we further reduce that statistic to this age range that I've given, between 15 years and I'm using 15 because in some parts of the world at 15 people are able to start working, or 16 people are able to start working. I live in the United Kingdom, and from 16 years, the child is old enough to work, but with minimal hours. They won't work full hours as an adult, but they can work minimal hours. So if from 16 years somebody gets a job and they are able to work between their ages of 16 and 55 or 60, I'm thinking that this 8.1 billion might reduce to maybe say 5 billion or 4 billion. Now imagine that 1.5 billion of those people are using Microsoft Excel. That's incredible. That's incredible. And you, my friend, are about to become one of those people, increasing that number of people who are using this versatile and most important tool ever in the arsenal of anybody working in the corporate world. Now, I did a little digging around again, and I found out that over 63% of organizations, of corporate organizations, especially organizations that have to deal with finances, and recently organizations that have anything at all to do with numbers and figures, rely on Microsoft Excel. Over 63% of corporate organizations rely on Microsoft Excel. What this tells you is that if 63% of organizations make use of Microsoft Excel, then there is about 63% of all organizations in the world available to you if you are able to pick up this skill. Now begin to imagine that. Begin to imagine the world of good that you are about to do to yourself by being here. He didn't say 20%. He didn't say 50%. 63% of organizations over the world rely on Microsoft Excel. Take a minute to think about that. Take a minute to think about where that places you the moment you pick up this skill, and why you should give it your all, and why you should even be proud of yourself in the first place that you've decided to be here. Now, one more fact about Microsoft Excel before we delve into other things is that in Microsoft Excel, why are about 1.5 billion people in the world making use of it? And why are over 63% of corporate organizations making use of Excel? Excel has over 500 functions. You're going to be seeing that when you eventually start. It has over 500 functions, formulas, and different things embedded in it. And it can serve different organizations. It can serve in the finance, it can serve in accounting, it can serve in the healthcare, it can serve in the teaching industry, education industry, it can serve in the telecoms, it can serve everywhere. With over 500 functions in it. I've been using Excel for, like I mentioned earlier, about roughly 3 years now. And I'm not sure I've used up to 150 functions in Excel so far. And it's been feeding me. I'm paying majority of my bills for the past 3 years. Now imagine the possibility. It doesn't matter what you do. There's one thing I usually do, but I do that with proper Dahel Techies students who have come to learn data analysis. Okay, I usually try to get a feeler of what they do. But from some of the answers you gave me in this comment section, I can see a couple of people here and what they do. I can see communication experts, foodpreneurs. I can see people who are working in the banking industry and stuff like that. So I usually ask that question to get a feeling of people, but I do that with data analyst students. So you're not data analyst students yet, so I'll reserve that. But what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't matter what field it is you work in or you are currently, there is something in Microsoft Excel for you in that field that you work in. Now, what does Microsoft Excel do? Microsoft Excel is simply this tool within the Microsoft Office. And within the Microsoft Office, there are a whole lot of other tools. We have Microsoft Word, we have Microsoft PowerPoint, we have Microsoft Planner, we have in fact, Microsoft Forms. We have a whole lot of other things within there that I may not remember. Microsoft Automate, but so many other things at the top of my head. So Microsoft Excel being one of them, what does it do? It is used to list and organize data because it appears in a grid format. You know, if you went through secondary school, I'm sure everybody here should have should at least be in secondary school or should have graduated from secondary school. You know your math set where you have the ruler, and you can use the ruler in your math set to draw lines on your exercise books. You see, so draw vertical lines and then draw horizontal lines in them. You remember, those of us who, I don't know whether we still have those things that are called workbooks. Workbooks have these grids in them that you have vertical lines drawn and then horizontal lines drawn across them. And then you now start having small boxes in it that you write in. That's what Microsoft Excel does for you. So it takes away that manual work of having to draw those lines. It provides you with a grid-like sheet that all you need to do, thank you, Olayemi, that all you need to do is just put in some of the things that you know already. Also, some of us are data analyst savvy. Oh, that's awesome. But just for the sake of those who are not, we are assuming that you are not. So if you are already, that's great. Well done. So Microsoft Excel helps you list and organize data in a grid-like format that is called columns and rows, so that you can enter information in a well-organized manner. If you need to, clean off something, it goes up and you replace it. So let's say, for example, that you are a teacher or you're like me and you're working in the healthcare. I used to be a biomedical scientist before I became a data analyst. So you work in a lab, or you're a teacher, or you're even a lawyer. You have this book, or where you write the names of your clients and the people that come to you and what they come to you for. And then if you were in the health sector like myself, we collect a lot of additional information of people who come, like their age, like their gender, like their marital status, like stuff, like that. Now, if you're putting that in an exercise book, you need to draw lines and put those in, and it could look rough. But if you employ Microsoft Excel, for example, if you're a teacher, you have the names of your students, you want to know how many times they attended school, you use it to mark attendance. So for every day, you need a column that has the date of that day. And anybody comes to school, you mark the attendance for them. Microsoft Excel organizes that in a very clear way for you. So you use Microsoft Excel to list and organize information. Now, I've been mentioning data a lot, and a lot of people may not know what it is. And I appreciate the fact that some people here are already tech savvy, and that's great. But I saw this thing on social media not too long ago. It was a chart. I don't know whether any of you saw it as well. If you follow me on Facebook, I know I posted it. I mentioned something about it earlier. So I saw this chart with someone. If it was a WhatsApp chat that was posted, and one person said, what do you do now? And that person said, I'm a data analyst. And that person was like, wow, how much do you sell 2.5 gig of data? Like they understood being a they understood being a data analyst, or they understood data rather to mean data bundle. So when we talk about data is not that thing you get from MTN or Glo or BT or Etisalat. No, it is not. I mean, I just couldn't believe it when I saw that chart. You see, so for the benefit of that, is there's anyone here who also has that kind of line of thought, please. So data is not what you buy from MTN. What you buy from MTN or Glo or it is or whatever network you use is called data bundle. Data bundle gives you access to the internet where you can then access data. So data is simply pieces of information around you everywhere. For example, in this meeting now, this meeting has lasted barely 30 minutes. It's been 27 minutes now. And in this data, in this meeting, I've been able to get a lot of data. Number one, your names. Your names are telling me, your name is a data that I've gotten here. Now, I've not asked you to put in your gender, but if I wanted to know what your gender is, I could look at some of you who have your pictures up in your profiles. I could look at it and say, okay, this is a male, this is a female. And that is data. I also know from here for some of you who have put in what you do, like you're an entrepreneur, you are a podcaster, you're a teacher, that is data. So for each person in this call today, I know your name, I know your gender, and I know what you do. You see, so that is data. They are simply pieces of information, and they are everywhere. So I'll say it again for those of you who are laughing. I'm serious. So I don't know whether you didn't see it. I saw it. If you go to my Facebook wall and scroll down, I know I shared it. I even made a video about it. So data are just simply pieces of information everywhere around you. The world, as we see it now, thrives on data. The fact that you go into Google or whatever, maybe Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge or whatever search engine you use, and you type in, please tell me 10 facts about so and so, and it brings it up. It runs on data. AI runs on data. How does it run on data? People somewhere have already gotten information about that thing you're looking for. They thought ahead of you and knew that at some point somebody would need information about this thing. They've gone ahead and gotten it and have fed it into a robotic system or into a search engine, so that when you now come and put in that thing, it brings it out for you. That's big data. It's as simple as, you need to understand it as that. It's as simple as that. I'll give you another example of data. Those of us who are up to the age of adulthood here, you see, and we don't chop breakfast before, like not breakfast like akara and beans, that kind of breakfast that breaks your heart. You see, the moment someone serves you breakfast, Nisi, of course, how else does it work? It's a robot. And I'll tell you something about AI that you don't know. That's the fundamental. I mean, it has a lot of technicalities around it, okay? But that's the fundamental of how it works. There are people that are called data. I've forgotten it. There's a name for them, okay? I, I'll try and find that name. So what their job is to work for organizations that preempt information. So if you data, I'll try and remember it. Their job is, in that organization, they tell you, we need you to get us 10 different ways that people will look for information about food. So you go sit down, data annotator, data annotator or something. Somebody please help me search data annotator and see if this is search data annotator and see what their job is. So this group of people, what they do is they work in an organization. The organization will tell them, get me 10 different ways that people can search for food, information about food. And then they will go sit down, be creative, think about how people can put in questions about food, bring up those questions, submit it to the organization. Then the data analysts and data scientists and data engineers within the organization will take those questions and the answers and then put them together and preload them into their AI. All your chat GPT, chat this one, all AI, that's how they work. That's the fundamentals of how they work. So they need clean, reliable data. that they get and feed into a pre-programmed system. That's how it works. And if you eventually decide to become a data analyst, yes, so they train the machine, that's machine learning. They train the machine to, based on what those data annotators have brought to them or the information that they have, as long as it is clean and it's verifiable, which is part of the work you do as a data analyst and which is what you can do with Excel. You clean data and make sure it is clean. So, for instance, the job I do it because I know that somehow I am contributing to AI. So I make sure that every data that I work with, I leave it as clean as possible, because this data is shared with different stakeholders outside of my organizations. And who knows where this data is going to end up and what it might be used for. So one way or the other, it is contributing to AI. Okay, back to the explanation I was trying to give you about data. I've given one, Abby, and I was trying to give another one so that if you don't understand the first one, you understand the second one. So if you know, say you don't chop breakfast here, part of the things that will happen to you, data annotators are responsible for labeling and categorizing data to improve. Exactly, that's there. Therefore, candidates should have a strong understanding of data. That's it. Data annotators. Yep. Thank you, Benjamin Okim. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So they review data, the label, they try to group, data, get information about different things, and then pass that on to the data scientists and data engineers, and they feed it into the machines and teach the machine. It learns and understands that when somebody puts in something like this is what it needs. When somebody puts in something, this is what it needs. Thank you for that, Benjamin. Thank you, Ekemini. Thank you, Deborah. Okay, so if, let's say, for example, somebody serve you breakfast, okay, and you eventually, your heart healed, bless you, eventually, and then somebody else now starts coming to you, wanting to become a part of your life again. What do you think you would do before you start accepting that person? I'm thinking at the top of my head that part of what you would do will be to ask yourself, what are there any similarities between this person and that person that broke my heart? You will now start comparing their behaviors. You will now start checking out for certain things that person that served you breakfast did, and try to see if the person has it, you run away. What are you doing? Because somebody had done something to you in the first time, that's data. You have data in your head about, oh, Raphael, bless you, don't worry, you'll be all right. So because somebody had treated you badly, you have that information in your head. Okay, your brain has stored that data, so that when next something like it is coming up again, it brings up that data, and then you're trying to compare it with the other one before making your decisions. You see? So that's what data is. If at the top of your head, now that I ask this question, say, have you don't chop breakfast before, and then you can think of 3 or 4 times that your heart was broken, that's data. You have data on how many times that you've been emotionally traumatized. So that is data. I hope that's clear enough that now we understand what data is. And so in organizations now, like let's say you're a student and your mom sells akara. And so for most people that sell akara, from the little I know, somebody who sells akara will also sell akamu or agidi. I don't know what it's called in other languages. Akamu ogi. I think that's what it's called in. So somebody who sells akara most times will sell akamu or ogi, sell agidi. They could also sell sugar. Everything that has to do with that akara. Now, if your mom sells or you fry akara, you have data on, you should, if you use Excel, you would be able to know how much beans your mom buys, how much she uses how much beans she uses in a day. You would be able to know how much she makes from that quantity of beans in a day. Then, if you decide to use Microsoft Excel for your mom's business, you can help her keep track of these things over a period of time. You can even help her keep track of the kind of people that come to buy her akara. Now, with that information, you can then begin to predict what the future of that business could look like. Let's say that you are a tailor. You sew clothes for people. Microsoft Excel can be employed by you to keep track of how many clients you have, what kind of clothes they bring to you more, how much you charge for each clothes. In fact, without Microsoft Excel, without organizing your data around your clients very well, I'm sorry, you might be charging less than you should charge. And you might even be losing money without knowing it. Because if you're relying on your head to remind you of who is owing you and who is not, you will forget. But if you use a tool like Microsoft Excel to keep track of this information, you will hardly lose anything. So Microsoft Excel helps you put data together, listing and organizing it. Number 2 thing that Microsoft Excel does for you, our time is fast spent, is that it helps you do the heavy lifting with calculations and mathematical operations. You see, I once did a video for teachers on my Facebook wall using just one function. Remember I told you that Excel has over 500 functions. Just one function of Excel called if statement. If you're a teacher here, with just if statement, do you know that you can calculate every score of your students from their assessments to their tests to their final exams to their cumulative grade and to their position? You can do it in one click for all your 1,000 students within 2 minutes or even less. So all that mathematics that you'll be doing, you get average 2 plus first term score, second term score, third term score divided by 3. You then put, and then you normally come and be looking at, okay, who is this on 95, 97? You're not. Excel helps you do all of those kind of things within a split second. It does all of those mathematical calculations for you. All you need to know is, what do I want Excel to do for me? You tell it to Excel. Excel does it for you within a second. Just before I got on this class, a few minutes ago on my Facebook, I had this friend who she likes posting mathematical problems like 4 squared bracket b squared minus find y, find all those kind of things. She likes posting all those things, and I go to her. So this afternoon she posted another one, and then this morning rather, I went to her. She posted another one. I went to her wall and said, "It's time to block you because you're terrorizing me with all this your mathematical nonsense." She was like, you that is an Excel guru. How are you terrorized by mathematics? And then I had to explain to her and tell her that Excel does the heavy lifting for me. All I need to know is what I want to do. And I instruct Excel and it does it for me. And I take the output that Excel gives me and use it for my business. Because I am more on the side of business intelligence. So I don't sitting down to crack my head to find out what 4 times 4 is. I don't have that time could be put more in doing something else. So that's what I use Excel for. Excel takes up the heavy lifting from me and gives me more time to do some more strategic work. So you can employ Excel for all your calculations and mathematical operations. If you're a student here and your lecturer or a past student or any of your fellow students is charging you 100,000, in our time it used to be, I think, 30,000 or 35 or so. I don't know how much it is now. Your fellow student or lecturer is charging you 100,000 to do your statistical analysis for you. Not anymore. With Excel, you can carry out the statistical analysis of your project within 5 minutes. 5 minutes. In fact, the longest time it will take you to do your correlation analysis, regression analysis, Pearce correlation, t-test, all of ANOVA, it's a click in Excel. Just know where to go. Just know what to click. Excel does the heavy lifting for you. So after this class, I don't know if regression analysis and statistical analysis is part of what you're going to be taught, because that's an advanced part of Excel. Advanced is like advanced because it's not a routine work. It doesn't mean it's that difficult to do. If you learn it, you can start going and doing it for other students and collecting money. So you can see that now Excel helps you to sort and filter information. Again, I'll use the example of, let's say, a teacher. So for teachers, most times, to help them, they try to put the information of their students in alphabetical order, so that you can make. I just paid 30K for my MSc thesis. See your life now. See your life. When you would have paid me 30K to teach you regression analysis, so that you can then go and start collecting that money from other people. But it's okay. It's okay. All right. Information is power. What you know, you're limited by what you know, actually. You're limited by what you know. Okay. So let's say again, you are a teacher and you have 1,000 students that you're managing, or that you're a school proprietress or proprietor, and you have 1,000 students in your school, and let's say that you have managed to put let's say, okay, that you're not using Excel, that you have the names of all your students in pen and paper in a book. Let's say that Mbokwo Mbafo committed something, or Mbokwo Mbafo did something, and you want to find out information about her. You will not start looking line by line out of 1,000 students. No. If you put that information in Excel, there is a function called sort and filter. Please, they can include it, ma'am. Maybe the introductory aspect that affects data analytics. Okay. All right. I'm sure the people from Dahel Techies are here and are taking note. Okay. So let's say if you have that information of your students in Microsoft Excel, all you need to use is one function out of the over 500 functions of Excel, called sorting or filtering, and you can just it brings it out for you, whatever it is in the list. The same thing applies to your business. The same thing applies to, let's say that you run an outfit that sells Coke. You have this shop where you sell Coke or different kinds of drinks, and you're relying on your sales girl to tell you how much she sold every day. You're sitting on a long thing, because you can't really know exactly what they've sold. But if you have an Excel workbook that you have done a little, just teeny bit of automation on, and then you upload it into because if you have a Gmail, you have access to a spreadsheet, and if you have an Outlook account, you have access to Microsoft Excel. So if you save it in your OneDrive, please, Matt, do give us at least the basics for regression analysis, correlation analysis in the free class. Okay, now that's up to Mr. David. I mean, if he's happy with that, that's fine. And no, I'm not going to be your Microsoft Excel tutor. Sorry, I am just here to introduce Excel to you. So, but I'm sure whoever it is that's going to be handling your Microsoft Excel will be fantastic. Okay, so let's say that you're using Excel in that business. Okay, what do you think? I need to plug in my laptop. Sorry, 1 second. So if you have an Excel workbook that you have saved in your OneDrive, and then you have shared the link with your sales girl, once they enter information, you can lock that sheet. You can lock that sheet for editing, so that they can only enter things but not remove it. You can put a password to it and give it to only one person, so that as they are entering data, how much they've sold into it every day. Let's say your office is in Abuja and you travel to Calabar for holiday. You can just be in Calabar and on your phone, you're just looking at money that is dropping in. Let's say that, around 3 o'clock, you already checked how much you had on that shared sheet you gave them that they are populating there in Abuja, and you are in Calabar. You're looking at it and you've seen that by 3 o'clock, they had made like 300,000 in sales. And then at the end of the day, say 8 o'clock, when the shop would have closed, and then you're coming to look at how much was made at the end of the day, and you're now seeing 220,000. You can then begin to question them. By 3 o'clock, I saw you already sold 300,000. Why am I seeing 220 now? Because you may not know, if your sales girl waits till the end of the day after she has made sales, she can now divide it and decide the one she wants to give you and the one she wants to keep for herself. So Excel helps you to see information on the go. So you don't just sort and filter. What I just explained now is something that Excel helps you to see information on the go, with a little bit of programming and a little bit of automation. Recently, one of the recent additions to Excel this year has been the Python. So for those of us who say they're already data analytics savvy, if you love to code or to program, we have Python in Excel now. So you can actually do some programming in Excel. But before Python came into Excel, there's something called VBA and macros that is used for that was already used for some sort of automation and programming. And in recent times, there is Power Query that's also been used for some kind of automation in Excel. There's also what is called Power Automate. So Microsoft Excel helps you, automate some of your repetitive tasks. One other thing that you use Microsoft Excel for would be to analyze and transform information that you have. Let's say, for example, what is analysis? Simply because the analysis is what you're going to be doing with Excel when you go in to learn analysis and transformation. Really, that's what they're going to be teaching you. I think it's those who are the real data analyst students that will have to go into some more technical details. I think in this free class is majorly around, transformation and simple analysis. Now, if you have your data in Excel, you can transform it from one form to another the way you like it. Let's say, for example, that you forgot to, let's say the example I gave, okay, that you have a spreadsheet that you give to your sales girl and she just imputes sales. Okay, so she has this column where she puts in how much she sold and what the cost price is. Let's say you want to find out what your profit is at the end of the day. You can manipulate that data using that information around cost price, the quantity she sold, and how much she sold it. You can transform your data. You can change things around. You can analyze by analysis, you can try to find out, do some kind of descriptive analysis. How much have I sold? Which product sold the more? Which product sold the less? Which student is doing better? What subject are people passing more? I'm just giving examples. If you were in the lab like me, what kind of labs do people, is Power BI and Power Query all part of Excel or data analysis? Yes, Power Query is part of Excel. Power BI is another Microsoft tool. So they are all integrated somehow, but they are also independent on their own. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Power Query is majorly in Power BI, but because Excel is undergoing a lot of transformation to make it remain relevant, so many things are being brought into it. Can we do all this with Excel in our phones? I doubt. No. To get the best out of Excel, you need a laptop. Sorry. You can view actually, but to get the best out of it, you need a laptop. Okay, so you can analyze your data. You can try to find out what kind of people, what kind of clients am I having more? What kind of clients am I had this this lady that came to, I taught a private, I taught Microsoft Excel privately. So she's a medical lab scientist and she runs her own lab. So after I had taught her the class, one of the things we did at the end of the day was I helped her create a small automated sheet that she can be using to track the things going on in the lab. So she came back to me. She was just she was just so excited, that she does not no longer have to guess that whether it's full block count that people are coming for more or whether it's this. She now knows. Excel takes you from a place of thinking to a place of knowing. It takes you from a place of thinking to a place of knowing. Okay, so another thing you can do with Microsoft Excel is that you can insert charts. Let's say, for example, that you currently you work as a receptionist. Okay, so you're a receptionist or you're a customer support person, a customer service person. And then at the end of every day, your boss expects you to, give him some kind of mini report. How many people came? What did they come to do? How much did we make? Something like that. If you know how to use Excel, instead of going to tell him, sir, we had 20 people that came in today, 10 of them were male, 5 of them were female, 5 of them were non-binary, and we sold 20 pieces of high target, 5 pieces of this, 10 pieces of, instead of saying that, you can insert simple charts, bar charts, column charts, line charts, all of that, and then present it to your boss. What do you think? As in, your level, your steez will just increase from just customer service to it might start increase you to executive customer. Executive no pass like that. You see. Now imagine also that you are a boss. Imagine that you are a boss and you train your staff to do this to you, and then they now pass this information to you now more as charts than numbers. CEO no pass like that. CEO, you no pass like that at all. You no pass. So instead of looking at numbers that are usually painful to the eyes, you are now looking at charts and diagrams and visuals. And if you've ever heard of the word dashboard, dashboard is simply a conglomeration of related charts. You're going to, I'm sure you're going to be taking that in your class. We just said, Kai, your boss will view you as a highly, of course. You see, one of the things I do, which is outside Dahel, is helping employees, be the best they can in the place where they work. I tell people, you see that job you're doing that you're being paid 20,000 naira. Somebody else is doing that exact same job somewhere else and is being paid 200,000 naira. It's all about the value that your employee feels you're bringing to the job. It's all about the value. I'll give you a personal example. Of course, what is a virtual assistant without Microsoft Excel? What are you assisting? How do you keep track of things? How do you manage information? It doesn't matter the field you work in, you need Microsoft Excel. You need Microsoft Excel. Remember, I told you that 63% of organizations rely on and even those that don't rely on Microsoft Excel, it's because that they have grown to a point where their business intelligence tool is now plugged directly to their database. And so they try to cut off Excel from there. Minus that, 100% of organizations make use of Excel. 100%. I was going to give you an example to buttress the fact that what you're being paid in that job you're doing currently is a question of how much value your employer thinks you're bringing to the organization. I'll say that again. How much you're being paid in that job is a question of how much value your employer feels you're bringing to that job. I used to live in Aba. at their states before I left for the UK. I used to work in a lab in that place. In fact, this is a small one. I don't want to tell the big one so that you won't feel I'm lying. So in that job, when I came into that role, the first day I came in, because I first came in and started asking questions about what the job is like. I came for an informal overview of the place. I cornered some people that were working in that place, and I asked them, what are you? I work as a chef. I'm currently on duty now, but I can't leave this because it's so impactful. Oh, thank you so much, Felicia. I appreciate that feedback. So I asked somebody around there, how much do they pay you? What's the working here like? The person told me, this was as at 2014. The person told me, in this lab, they don't pay anything more than 25,000. No, it's 25,000. Well, as you that is just looking to come in, it's 25,000 that they start you with. I was like, eh? It's all right. I went to another person, an informal chat before I went to apply for the job. I also, ask questions. What's the job here like? Is this a place I can work with? What time do you close? What days do you work? They told me they work Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then on Saturday, they work 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay. So armed with all of this information, I did a little digging around in the organization, and then I went to apply for the job. When I went to put in my application for the job, this is my true life experience. And for those who know me, I have no reason to lie. So I went to apply for the job, and the man went through my resume and he told me, okay, this is our working time. Our working time is 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., just like the other workers had told me, and we work on Saturdays too. And your starting salary will be 25,000 naira. I smiled and I told the man, first and foremost, sir, I appreciate the fact that most of your organizations, most of your workers work Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And they also work on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm sorry, I won't be able to work that way. The man's shocked. I was like, why? I told him first, I'm a young mother. I have 2 children that I need to attend to, and I have a young family. If I work for you 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., what time do I have to go to the market, to come home and sort things out? What this means is that I get back to my home at about 7 p.m. in the evening, and that leaves me with very little time to take care of myself. Saturdays are the days that I have to spend with my 2 young children, and I need to put in the effort with that. Now, I know you'll be wondering what it is I'm going to offer you that should make you make this exception for me. I bring with me, sir, an experience worth years, what a few years. I've worked at National Hospital Abuja, where I went to do a private internship, and I learned so and so things. And I have an integrity where I do not lie, I do not cheat, and I ensure that I work according to standards when it comes to work. Hiring me means hiring integrity. Hiring me means hiring competence. Hiring me means hiring someone that you can depend on. These are the things I will bring to you on this job, sir. And unfortunately, if you do not hire me, you'll be missing out on these things. But if you hire me, I won't be able to give you my best if I cannot balance my work and my home front. By the time we were done, Oga asked me, okay, how much do you want me to pay you? I said 50,000 naira, sir. I know this might sound like small money. Aba is a small city. It's not such a big city. And he was like that. His oldest scientist here is earning 40,000 naira. And that person has worked here for 4 years. And it won't be fair for me, a new person, to be paid higher than the person. We ended up at 40,000 naira, which is what the person who was working there for 4 years was earning. I mean, they started at 25,000. But me that came in, I came in at 40,000. 5 months into that job, that's my boss wanted to follow my story. My boss wanted the lab, to get accredited get ISO accredited. No, not ISO. AMSON, our governing body, was coming to do, an inspection in the lab. So we needed to have, so many things, a lot of documentation needed to be put in place. having SOPs fully typed out, bound in hard copies, a lot of things to be done. When he called the meeting and said, this is the quagmire he found ourselves, we need to put these things on if we are going to pass accreditation, I told him, don't worry, I'm going to do it. Because I had knowledge of Microsoft Excel, I took up all our SOPs, from hematology to histopathology to microbiology to everything. Those of them that had no SOPs, I designed SOPs, I designed work aids for them. What did I use to do it? Just Microsoft Word. I took my time, I typed them all out, and then we also needed to make a list of all the things that we had in our store, because we also had some kind of mini store where we sold reagents. I used my small, teeny, weeny knowledge of Microsoft Excel that I gained in the university. I schooled in UNN, and when we were in our second year, everybody was forced to take this IT course with AfriHub. Then we didn't take it seriously. But you see, at that point, I remember that I know how to use Excel small. So I now used Excel and started putting in all of the information that we had. Now, that task that my boss felt was impossible, he saw that within 2 weeks, I had put together every documentation that was needed. My salary was increased by 20%. Why am I telling this story? Yeah, Uju, you know AfriHub, yeah? Why am I telling this story? I'm telling this story to buttress the fact to you that what you are being paid in your organization is the value that your employer feels that you're bringing to the job. Now, imagine that you learn how to use Microsoft Excel and that you find a way of bringing it into your job. Your value will go high, and they won't have a choice than to meet you up where you are or lose you. And trust me, no good employer wants to lose a good employee. None. Okay, so I have now concluded what you can use Excel for. And with this story, I have launched you into the benefits of learning Microsoft Excel. It helps you improve on your current career. It helps you get better with what you're doing at the moment. Because what you're doing here, Mama, check, please, can we? That is, and I have a personal. Of course, now I'm a career coach. What else is my job than to have personal classes with people? Okay, let's concentrate. We will have time for questions. Chidibekwe, great lioness. Great. Great, Chidi. Thank you very much. Okay, so I've launched us into the benefits of knowing how to use Microsoft Excel. So, which is number one? It makes you valuable. It makes you valuable. Imagine an organization where you're now you're using pen and paper, you're doing manual calculations, and you now begin to do this automated stuff. Your value, your skills go high. Imagine as a teacher that it takes your fellow teachers, like say after exams, it takes an extra 1 week to put together the results, and your own after exams today, tomorrow, your result is ready. You've sent it in and it has 99.9% accuracy. Your skills will be here. Your level will go high. So it helps you get better. It helps you become more valuable in your current work. The next thing it does is that it increases your accuracy and reduces errors. If you're doing anything with numbers, you can rely on Excel for 99.9% accuracy. It does not just do that, it improves your productivity and reduces human burnout. Now imagine that you work in what example will I give now? Let's say that you are a sales rep. I used to be one. I've done a lot of things in my life. I used to do rep work for a pharmaceutical industry at some point. Sorry, I don't know if I'm boring you. Is this class interesting at all? Should I just stop talking? Sorry, I've not even asked. So bad of me. I've been talking for over 1 hour. Are you getting any value at all from this class? Sorry, I needed to have asked at some point. Are you getting any value at all? Can I get a yes, a no, a thumbs up, something at all? Are you getting value at all from this class, anyone? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Demobong. Thank you, Kijiba. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. Because keep talking. Okay. I should keep talking. Okay. Oh, all right. That's fine. Now imagine that you are a sales rep. You work for a pharmaceutical industry. Okay. From the little I know about sales reps, they give you medications in bulk, and then you now go out and start looking for retailers or wholesalers that you give it out to. Yeah. Now, when you give it out, when you give it out, Jay, okay, yeah, Jay, thank you very much for that. Now, when you distribute those medications to the different retailers or distributors that you give to, most of the time, yes, but let's go into practical. No, this class is not the practical class. This class is a general introduction to what Microsoft Excel is and how it benefits you. So if you feel you already know, how it benefits you, that's fine. You may want to drop off at this point and then join, the next. I'm sure you're in a WhatsApp group. They will tell you when the practical class will start. So sorry, this class is not practical. It's not practical at all. I'm sorry if that's what you thought it was. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So let's say that you distribute the medications to the different retailers and wholesale people. Imagine, having to keep having to keep doing manual calculations about how much you sold, about who you gave. Sometimes you do that thing and you just get tired. And when you get tired, things with calculations, you start making mistake. That thing is called burnout, and it is not good for work. You see, in your job, this is not me now talking about introduction to this is now me talking to you as a coach. You see, in your job, please do everything possible to avoid burnout. Do everything possible to avoid burnout. You see, that point where you work until your head wants to explode, avoid it. The moment, oh, thank you, Olaimi. I had water here. Oh, I had tea here. I forgot. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so if you are working and at some point it feels like your head wants to explode, just stop. Shut down your laptop, shut down your book, drop everything. Because if you push yourself beyond that point, your productivity will nosedive. Your productivity will go this way. Anything you do, okay, and you get to that point and you keep doing it, after you must have done it and left it, maybe go home, come back the next day, or take a 30 minutes break or 1 hour break and come back. The moment you come back and take a look at what you did after you felt that burnout in your brain and you will see mistakes in it. You will see mistakes in it. So do everything to avoid burnout in your work. Everything you can. It reduces your productivity. But when you use tools like Microsoft Excel to do your majority of your work, it increases your productivity and it takes away burnout. And you see, driving yourself to a point of burnout in your work affects your physical health. It affects your physical health. You don't want that. Okay, the next thing that Excel does to you is that it makes you versatile. Remember at the beginning, I mentioned that Excel is used by 63% of organizations, and this is globally, not in Nigeria, not in Ghana, not in UK, this is globally. And I explained to you again that remaining 30-something percent or 30% that seem not to be using Excel is because their BI tool is plugged directly to their database. But then they still have an element of Excel. In fact, 100% of organizations use Excel. It all depends on how much they use it. So imagine that you have this tool. It places you on a global stage. It places you on a global stage. You become versatile. Because remember, I told you I used to be a biomedical scientist. This morning, if you go to my Facebook wall, I once in a while I write a little chronicle of my journey to encourage other people who might also be in such situations and let them know that that stage will also pass. You'd see that I was a biomedical scientist. I used to be a lecturer. I just mentioned that I also did some sales at some point, you see. But can you see that I used Excel as a biomedical scientist? I am using Excel as a data analyst. Even if I move on to become a project manager, I'll still use Excel. Excel is versatile. It is a tool that you can use irrespective of what job or career path that you are in. My Facebook name, my LinkedIn name, my everything is just what is here on the screen. That's my name everywhere. I don't answer Miss Bliss, Miss. Okay. All right. Another benefit you get, from using Microsoft Excel is that it will help grow your career. It brings you promotions, which is what I had said before, and professional development. Imagine that you now start presenting your reports in charts and lines and analyze them and do some kind of fancy things and stuff like that and present it to your boss. It's either he promotes you or he loses you because your value don't go up, you see. So when you learn this tool, which you're about to learn, you are adding value to yourself. I remember I mentioned that how much you're being paid for that job you're doing is the value your boss thinks that you bring. After all, there are so many of you working in that organization. How come the manager is paid more than the floor worker? Why? But they're still coming to the same office and they pay the same transport. If both of them live in Mararaba and the office is at Lekki, it's the same amount of transport that they will pay from Mararaba to Lekki. But they are paying the same people working in the same organization, spending the same amount of money. They are paying them different amounts. Why? Value. Value. Last but not the least on my list of the benefits you will gain, because this class should be wrapping up by now, is that it supports career transition. Remember, I mentioned that Excel is versatile. You use it in every tool, in every area. So let's say, like me, you want to move from where you are now to somewhere else. As I move from biomedical science to data analysis, Excel is that one tool that will serve you everywhere you go, just like MTN. Excel will serve you everywhere you go. So it is very, very versatile and will help you if you decide to go into career transition. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've said quite a few things today about Excel. I've tried to introduce Excel. I've tried to explain to you what Excel is and what you put into it, which is data. We spent some time talking about what data is and how it differentiates itself from data bundle. And we also talked about what you could use Excel for. So many different things we talked about. We mentioned a couple of things like helping you list and organize data, helping you do the heavy lifting when it comes to calculations and mathematical operations. We talked about how it can help you with, sorting and filtering through a lot of data. We also talked about how you can use Excel as a storage to store information. So you list information, you organize it, you store it. And then we also talked about how Excel can help you to analyze your data, insert charts, insert different kinds of things, and help you present information in a different kind of way that will increase your steez in no little way. And then we've also gone on to talk about the benefits of Microsoft Excel, which we've talked about. Somebody said transition is the cocoa. Yeah, because it is versatile, It helps you with career transition. It helps you become more valuable where you are at the time. It improves your productivity and reduces burnout from you. Excel also helps you increase your accuracy and speed while reducing your error. And we talked about a whole lot of other things that I may not go into now. Now, I hope at this point that you understand the beauty, the importance, and the height and depth of what you're about to get yourself into. I hope by now you understand that you're doing yourself a world of favor by learning and picking up this tool. All right, now let's transit a little bit. A lot of people have been asking a couple of questions. About so many things here. I'll try to answer as much as I can. But Dahel Techies is an edtech that provides you with a lot of learnings around technical solutions. And one of those is data analysis. You've come in now under the auspices of Dahel Techies to learn about data, about Microsoft Excel. But there are a whole range of other things that you can learn from Dahel Techies. But your class this time is going to be focused on Microsoft Excel, so make no mistake about that. I, as a coach, under the auspices of Dahel Techies and my own personal business, which is Prechecks, that I run as a person, we are both here, both under Dahel and as myself, to support you to make the best that you can out of your present job. We are here to support you to make the best that out of what you're doing at the moment. And if for any reason at all you decide that you want to grow and that you want to transit into a different career path at all, we are also here to support that transition. Dahel has what is called a job readiness program that helps people who are job seeking. And I personally run a career planning and development program that helps people who are currently employed already, but are feeling stuck or unable to progress in their career path. Whatever path it is that you are going into, you're looking for a job, you're looking to get better where you are, Dahel Techies is here for you. I am here for you. And we are here to ensure that Africa, Nigeria, the entire world has more people who are not just job ready, but are valuable within the job that they are doing. At this point, it's time for me to stop talking because I've been talking for about 1 hour and 20 minutes straight away now. And I think it's time to stop. And thank you so very much, every single one of you, for giving me your attention in this time. I'm hoping that this 1 hour, 30 minutes that you've given to me is not a waste and that you've been able to get value for your time. I have been so glad to be your coach and instructor at this time. And thank you for so many feedback I've been getting from you. I'm giving you a standing and clapping ovation. Thank you very much. I love you too. Wow, I've been looking for that I feel stuff. Oh, great. Okay. So now you know who to go to. You know where you're in the right place. Okay. I came late as I was busy. Please, when is the next class coming up? I'm sure you must be in some kind of WhatsApp group, yeah? Please do ask in the group. Ask in the group and they will answer you. Onoha says, I received value. Oh, Babalola says, miss you. I miss you too. Thank you. Abiodun, thank you so much. God bless you. Meg Eliaho, thank you so much. Value gotten. I appreciate you. Moses Nathaniel, God bless you too. Rose Israel, can new people be accepted into the class? Of course, I think so. I'm ready to embrace this opportunity with everything in me. Go for it. Go. I'm cheering you on. Well done. And so says, can this be applied to Google Sheets as well? Yes, it can be applied to Google Sheets. But Google Sheet is good. It's fantastic. The only difference is that it does not have the global attention and versatility that Microsoft Excel has. That's just it. Google Sheet is fantastic. I use it too. But it does not have that global reach and attention that Microsoft Excel has. Can we get the recorded version of today's session? Please ask in the WhatsApp group where you are. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. Omolara says this is valuable. I hope it's recorded. I hope so too. Benjamin, you're a very good instructor for this class. Waiting to see you. Thank you, Benjamin. Sorry, you may not see me in the class. I won't be teaching you Excel. I'm not sure I will, but I'm sure that whosoever it is that will be teaching you Excel will be great, will be fantastic for you. I'm ready for the men class. Go for it, Meg. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. I'm cheering you on. Well done. Well done. Chinwe says you're a coach with steez. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate. Can phones be used for this training? Well, you can use your phones to listen in, but I'm not sure you can use it to do anything meaningful, but you can use it to listen in. Felicia says, thank you for spilling this knowledge to us. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you too. God bless you. Thank you, Olayemi. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, John Akizito. Regina says, I really want to know more about the Excel spreadsheet, but I don't have a laptop. I need one. Thank you. Okay. May laptop fall on you. May the heavens open unto you and may you be provided with one. Amen. Uwemasupa, please, how do we have access to the main class? I think you should be in a WhatsApp group or ask around. You should be in a WhatsApp group. You should be in a WhatsApp group. I'll connect with you on LinkedIn. I'll be waiting for you, Metro. I'll be waiting for you. I came in here where someone was saying that a great teacher is an understatement. You are impactful too. So thank you, Ekemini. I appreciate you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Can we get the recording of this lesson? I hope so. Please ask in the WhatsApp group. Thank you very much. I just followed you on Facebook and LinkedIn. Thank you. There are many Excel. Which can we download? I mean, it depends on the one that's compatible with your laptop, but it's best to go for the latest version. Whichever one is the latest version, please go for it. All right. I think that is all. Is it going to be only online class? Yes, Mrs. Nathaniel, it's going to be online. This is a copycat. I don't know. I mean, but you can't downplay Google Sheets, can you? You use Google. Your email is Google, isn't it? Your search engine is Google. Like when you're stuck, you just say ask Google. You can't really play that on Google. But I agree with you. The sheet doesn't have the global reach of that's just the way I'll put it. But it's a great tool though. And two of them, have almost the same things. It's just that the functions might be a little bit the same. Thank you, Henry. Thank you. Yeah, that's the idea, to motivate you so you can start off on a good note. I'm hoping that you're all chuffed and, pumped to get into Microsoft Excel. It might get difficult at some points. Some of the functions might begin to be difficult, but hey, it's not that hard. Trust me. If you don't remember any other thing, just remember what I'm telling you now. When you start learning Excel, at some point, it might look like it's becoming hard, but don't give up on it. It's just new. Okay. So just tell yourself it's new. If you just hang on to it, you'll get a hang of it and you'll be all right. Because I know when you get into things like VLOOKUPs and pivot tables, you might begin to, feel a little, but hey, it's not that hard. Just focus. You'll be all right. Can I use a mini laptop for the Excel? It depends on the capacity of your mini laptop, or really. It depends on the capacity. I came in here, Perry. I'm missing you already. Don't worry, connect with me on Facebook. I'm always on Facebook. I'm always on LinkedIn. So just connect with me there. You won't miss me again. I promise. I'm always there. Thank God I found the health Techies, and most importantly, you want Waka Beauty. Thank you. That's so kind of you. All right, ladies, can a tablet be used? The best is a laptop. The best is a laptop. That's all I can say. The best is a laptop. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've gotten enough for this session. I think it's about time that I log out. I'm hoping that you will be thankful at the end of this class. Thank you so very much, and God bless you. Bye. Ooh.